Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Anime Lounge Podcast. I'm your host, Matt, alongside with our good friend, Cameron. Lance is on vacation right now. I hope he's enjoying his vacation, and thankfully, Cameron was willing to join me for an episode, and I actually really enjoyed the series that he picked, so thank you for picking this one, because I would not have done that if you hadn't suggested it.
Oh, you're good. That just validates me knowing I have slightly good taste.
Yeah, no, you have good taste. I enjoyed our anime conversations that we've had previously, so I will give you the benefit of the doubt. You have good taste. And all
Yeah.
the anime you suggested were also very good, so
I wanted to do the one, but it wasn't. There's no dub because I feel like
yeah.
it hits harder for you because you're a parent.
Yep.
I'm like, this made me want to have a kid, but well, that's a story for another day.
Yeah, unfortunately, we are very particular on this one and like to stay dubbed only just because it's the greater majority of people enjoy dubbed. That's bad phrasing. Just the widest variety of individuals as far as dub or subbed.
Okay.
A little peek behind the curtain on our decision-making process. But every episode, we do have an adult beverage of choice. Cameron, are you drinking anything in that manner?
So I couldn't go to the store to get soju because they closed by the time I had to run home. I do have a Sunny D vodka spritzer though.
There you go. I know
I'm an
Lance has said
adult.
he liked them. I can't say I've had that one yet. Is it good?
It's more like spritzer water and vodka than Sunny D, but yeah, it gets the job done after like 7 of them.
Yeah, I don't want to buy a whole case just to enjoy one of them. So I guess we'll
I
know.
got when I see you in November, I got you.
Okay, I appreciate it. That's we'll bring you some Wisconsin staples, and you can bring us anything else.
Okay, that checks out. I got you.
To remind everybody what we're covering today, we will be covering Wandering Witch, the journey of Elaina, and I'm going to do a very, very short synopsis on this one. This series is a 12 episode, one season so far series about Elaina, who is a witch, and she just travels around the world because of her favorite book growing up. The main character in the book also did the same thing, so she's basically following along with the book. And yeah, that's really all I got for this one.
That's what it is. At its heart, that's what it is.
Yes. I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. It's about as deep as some parts of this series, like, to be completely honest. It's good, but it's a lot of one-off journeys, we'll put it that way. And then as far as a manga is concerned, NANI? First of all, read the light novel. This is what it's based off of. As said by the mangaka, he basically pulled a bunch of stories that he liked from the light novel and illustrated them. So think of what you will as far as the manga is concerned. It's going to be missing quite a bit. For anybody who's listened to a handful of our episodes, you kind of get a feeling of how long a 12 episode series usually is as far as a manga is concerned. And it's usually somewhere in the range of 30 to maybe 50 chapters. And this one was 12.
That's so boring. I hate that. I hate that so much. I went to double check like how long it was. The light novel is 22 books. I'm like, that's crazy. Under that, manga 5, and I'm like, huh? What?
Yeah, number 6 just recently came out as of middle of July that we're recording this. So yeah, it's
better than No Game No Life though.
That's true. I'll give you that one.
Just started the second arc in the manga. No, we not gonna talk about that. I need a stronger drink if we don't talk about that.
So to get into some of the differences, a big one, there was no flashback with the two teachers. There was no going back in time. Basically, the first 2 episodes didn't happen in the manga. It starts with Elaina as a child talking to her mom about her favorite book, and then it literally skips to her in the first town, like at the gate of the first town.
Ooh, no. Ooh.
I will say they do come back later and kind of do a flashback of when she went through the journey of becoming a witch. But that was when she met up with her teacher in the teacher in the after she meets up with her teacher at the school. Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I should
So,
accept that.
I mean, it's an interesting way to start because the concept of this series is wandering. So, I don't hate that.
I don't either, only because like we finished it. I don't hate it in retrospect, but like if I was reading it after watching the anime, I would absolutely hate that.
I'll give you that one. Yes. And then basically every difference that I have as the rest of the series, it's just a different segment or town that she travels to. So like the first one, she travels to a town and it's broke and finds out that the king of the town is making fake coins. So everything's hyperinflated. She was talking about how she can stay at an inn for like 1 silver coin. At this place for one night, it's 4 silver coins. Like a loaf of bread is typically like 1 copper coin. And in this place, it was like 12 copper coins, which I think is a silver. Yeah, it's just super expensive. And a bunch of stuff happens and she gets her money. We'll put it that way.
Okay.
And then after that, so when we meet the Jar of Happiness wizard, he is significantly younger. We're talking like probably 10 to 12 years old.
Oh.
And the slave is an adult.
Oh.
So,
Ooh.
yeah, she's an adult.
They made that super dark in the anime. Okay.
They did. And then at the end, I'm gonna spoil something. The slave ends up stabbing herself in the stomach and dying at the end of the chapter.
We can talk about that later. I do want to touch on that.
We also do find out what the mayor/father does and where all this money is coming from, which we can we'll just talk about it now. He sells slaves. He goes to the east, buys slaves real cheap, and then sells them to the west.
That sounds like it could be a plot point for a spy family, but like in this context, damn, that is super. Am I allowed to cuss? I don't remember.
Oh yeah, you more than welcome.
Super fucked up.
Right? And the son, again, we have to remember he's very young. He does not know about this.
Ooh, that's a hard change from the anime. Okay.
Yes. I'd be very curious about the light novel, if it's more of the anime or if it's more of the manga. I feel like the anime, they did it that way to make the relationship a little bit more kosher.
Between the son and the slave, yeah, but
yeah. Also, the slave shows zero feelings towards the son.
That checks out.
So it's a very one-sided, put it that way.
I've been there before.
Another village that Elaina travels to meets up with this dying young man. Basically, his girlfriend always stays by his side. The guy tells her a story about how there's an elixir in a town that's 2 days away, and she runs off. He gives her a letter that says, it's fake. Stay in this town, keep the money, forget about me. And then the village goes and kills the guy. Actually, sorry, Elaina has to kill said sick individual.
Okay, that would have been good for the show. That would have been great for the show, but
yeah, and he basically talks about how, well, if you don't do it, I'm gonna die anyway. Like, you're either gonna kill me or the village is gonna kill me, and you are the only individual that can kill me in a manner in which I will not suffer. That's like, ooh, that's painful.
All right, what else you got?
The students finding Elaina was very different. We'll put it that way. Basically, they find her and then they call the teacher and the teacher shows up.
Okay.
Yeah, basically,
okay.
They're like, hey, you need to come with us. And Elena's like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. That's not happening. And then they call for Fran and she shows up. And yeah, that's the whole thing. And I'm just like, okay.
I don't like that, but I understand. In the anime, they're like, you're gonna show you how much better they are. In the manga, they're just like, nah, just we're just gonna skip all that. It's not important.
Yep, yeah, kind of.
Kids suck.
Well, that, and you also have to remember that Fran has talked up Elaina to them, so they already know that she is significantly better than them, even when they're pretty close to the same age.
Okay, fair. I'll give you that.
After that, Elaina goes to another town and finds, we'll call her demi-human, a human figure with horns. So you could think of her as a demon. They never call her a demon. They just kind of call her by her name. So to put it in perspective, it is a girl with horns. And another really dark one, basically you find out some merchants came and were going to try and buy the parents. The parents put up a fight, fell off a cliff and died. And then the merchants talked the town into giving the two girls a place to stay because their plan was to abduct the children and go sell them as slaves. The sister goes and attempts to stab one of the merchants. He brutally kills her, and then the sister stabs the merchant in the back, and then the whole house goes on fire. The sisters, plural, get out of the house, and the other sister carries around the dead sister for a while and is in shock.
Yeah.
Elaina helps the alive sister and is able to kind of help her move on, realize, hey, your sister is dead. She's not alive. I promise you, she's not alive. She's been dead for over a month. And then yeah, so that's a super messed up one as well.
What else you got?
I only have two more things.
Okay.
She travels to a house that is full of bewitched items who end up brainwashing Elaina into staying at the house. And Elaina turns her broom into a transfigured human who ends up actually looking a lot like her. And the broom finds Saya, who Saya is actually the one that helps her escape said house by basically blowing up the house. And then well, it kind of needed to happen because that was the only way to break the spell, because the spell was inside the house. It was pretty much all of these bewitched items, resentment towards humans for throwing and casting away all these broken and old items. And
it's just a big yokai.
Yes.
That's kind of cool.
It is. It was very interesting. I hope we get to see it in season 2, if we ever get a season 2. And then what Elaina does to help alleviate the feelings of the objects is she actually gives them to an antique merchant who basically loves them and sells them to people who will love these items so that they feel wanted again.
That's our first happy ending. Okay.
Yes. Not really, only because, we've had a couple other happy endings, minus so the flower one.
That's not happy. That's not happy.
This is just something I thought of. The relationship between the woman and the guard. What was that in the anime? I'm drawing a blank.
They're brother and sister.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you learned more about that one. Apparently she sold flowers and was getting wooed upon by all of the men that were traveling. And the brother was basically jealous / overly protective. We'll put it that way. They also talk about having an incestuous relationship.
I mean, okay. It's gonna sound bad. It's okay. I have a not safe for work podcast. It's fine. So that's nothing new or out of the norm. I've seen Game of Thrones up until season 4.
Yeah. No, I'm not
2
saying
episodes of season 2. 8.
It's so I like to think of things within context of the series. In the series, it was weird. Like they said, it was an inappropriate relationship between the brother and sister. So they also were frowned upon. Saw it as frowned upon. So with media literacy, I'm like, that's nothing too bad. It's bad. It's just nothing too crazy. I'm like, yeah, it's not way in left field kind of thing. But even the villagers were like, yeah, no, that's no good. That's a no-go in this town. So yeah, that was the brother and sister. So they do go into that a little bit deeper. Also, in the last on chapter 12, they talk about who the individual is at the end of the series. I want to say the closing credits of the series. So we find out who she is and what is so important about her. But yeah, a lot of stuff missing.
So you want to tell the audience or nah? I'll just leave it be.
How about we will talk about it at the end of the episode. So if nobody wants to get spoiled,
Okay.
We can save it for the end, and we'll talk about her at the very end.
Okay, that works.
Just in case nobody wants to get spoiled, because she is kind of a super important person. Also, another thing that you don't get in the manga is you don't get the alternative timeline. Elena's, I thought that was kind of disappointing. I thought that was a really interesting episode. So yeah, a lot of stuff missing.
It's a very good, not a case study. It's a very good representation of, these are all like, yes, these are all alternate timelines of Elaina, but they are all inner reflections of how she does see herself, except for the slime.
Yes.
I'm not gonna stay over there.
Yeah,
We'll
that
get
one's
into
just
why later. And the ghoul. The ghoul
yeah.
was kind of weird. The fact the ghoul could read but not speak bothered me a lot, actually.
What if she didn't have like a voice box, so that she had intelligence but no way to communicate?
Use your magic. Arguably one of the most powerful. Okay, as far as age goes, she is the strongest 14-year-old witch.
Yes.
No one comes close. You
At
don't
her
tell me
age,
you
she
couldn't.
is- yeah, no, I know. She can transfer your brooms into humans. She knows exactly how to do something like that. Yes, no, I completely understand.
So that bothered me a lot.
Okay, no, I don't blame you on that one. It's kind of a little weird. We can put it that way.
All right, friend, where you want to start? Because there's my notes are
All over
an
the place.
abhorrent mess. Yes, they go from like episode 3 on, but it's just like, there's something weird. Here's something weird. Huh? They really did that. Interesting.
So I guess one thing I want to talk about that I feel like is important to understanding the context of the world is not everybody can use magic. I feel like that's important to remind people that this is a world of magic, but it's not a world of everybody has magic or everybody has a lot of magic.
I must have missed that because I thought everyone could use magic. They just don't have. Well, everyone has the aptitude for magic. Just you're not good enough. Sorry.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure they talk about basically it's the 1% of people become witches, and then men pretty much almost never have magic. So that is why the boy is very interesting, because they talk about it being a gene that's passed between women. So that's why women have magic and men usually don't.
Yeah, you're right. He's the only spell. No, she turned him into a monster. You know, the kid's the only boy mage.
Yes.
But like they're not so incredibly rare that it's unheard of, because there is a country, later that does say mage. I'm like, okay, so mage is for both, but witch is specifically for women. Got it. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So it's not an uncommon thing, but it's not an impossible thing or a very one-off thing, but it's definitely very rare for men. Yeah. So I feel like that's an important part to remind people as far as the series is concerned, because it's not like Black Clover where Asta's like the only one, or you've got just other anime series where it's like, oh nope, you're the only one that can't use magic, or you're the only handful of 10 people that can use magic. No, it is there, but it's exceedingly rare for them to become witches. And then I guess, do you want to talk about what your viewpoints of the series are? Because as I had said, this was one I intended to watch, but I never did end up watching it. And it probably would have just stayed on the I'll get to it eventually list.
Oh no, that list is about to get chopped down because the summer releases, there's only 7 shows, but only 3 of them are out right now. So I'm like, I'm good. I can watch all my old stuff. It's perfect. So I watched this show after the dub was finished. So like 2021. Okay. I thought it was fucking amazing after it like initially came out. And then I sat with it and went, okay, it's not amazing, but it is very, very good.
Yes, I'll give you that one.
The rewatch. Okay, so the only things that really stuck with me, because this is technically my first rewatch, were the first 2 episodes and the last 2 episodes. Everything else I'd completely just thrown out, and I'm like, why did I do that? Which makes me feel worse, because I have volumes of the light novel 1 through 7, then volume 10 on my bookshelf, and I'm like, I like this enough to buy all these damn books. Why didn't I read them? It's mostly
we know why you read them.
I wanted season 2 and we didn't get it.
Yes.
It's not quite okay. So, The Ancient Magus Bride is one of my favorite anime. It gave
Okay.
me that vibe, which is why I went out to get the books. And then I
Okay.
went, it'll get a season 2. It'll get a season 2. Okay, it's not getting season 2. Let me buy these books. So,
I get that
I
one.
like it. I really like it. It's just not, it's somewhere on the edge of good and great. Like, I couldn't recommend this to everyone, but I can recommend this to a lot.
I completely understand. It's like if I would give it a rating, it's probably like a 6, where it's 6 to a 6.5.
I would give it a 7, but that's in the modern landscape of anime 3 years ago.
Okay.
Because it's not a happy series. The colors are nice. They're not muted. They're not super bright.
Yep.
But it's not happy. Like there are very few happy endings, which I think is good.
Which we became very apparent in the manga mentions.
Yeah. Like the first 2 episodes, you're like, okay, it's okay to be fine. You got this, kid. Then episode 3, you're like, never mind. What did I sign up for? It's not quite the school days shock, but it's like, oh, this is gonna be harrowing. This will be a harrowing journey for this young adult. Yeah, jeez, I can't call her a child.
No, definitely. At the start, yes, because I want to say she's 16 by the time she becomes a witch, and
no,
14.
She's 14 at the very start, and then she's 18 when she gets her badge. Which, what the fuck did Fran train her in for 4 years? That she's like not feared, but not coveted. I think coveted would be a better word, but
I thought they said it was 2 years she spent training her.
I'd have to go back and check. You're probably right.
Because I think she was 14 when she took the test.
Yeah, you're right. She met Fran at 16. That's right. Because it took her a month for her to break.
Yep, and then she trained for two years. So I want to say she's 16 by the time Fran leaves, and then she's been traveling for years. I want to say it's probably been 2+ years that she's been traveling. I think it's been 4 years total as far as the timeline.
We'll go with what you said, because you actually have information, and I'm just winging it.
I'm also just winging it because all they talk about is the beginning of her. Yeah, they talk about the beginning of her age, and then I want to say it was 2 years. Could be very wrong, because I think they said it usually takes years, and it only took me 2 years or something along those lines. I think is what she said.
Yeah, long story short, she's a prodigy.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's because of who her mom is, who they later, which I love it, I hate it, but it makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely need to come back to that one. I want to kind of continue. I want to get back on track just a little bit as far as the series is concerned. Do you think there's any reason why this wasn't so ravely reviewed? Because I think all in all, it was fairly decent. Do you think it just kind of got muted with everything else that was coming around at that time? Or do you think it's just...
Actually check right now, because it came out technically during the pandemic.
Yep. So people had lots of time.
But it 100% got buried.
Okay.
Because we have Haikyuu, Toilet Bound, Dorohedoro, Bofuri, Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken. There was a lot of... The Madoka sequel came out. It had a lot of competition. So yeah, I totally get why this got buried. There's a lot of heavy shows in 2020.
That makes a lot of sense. I feel like it was just kind of one of just one of them that was coming out at that time. Also, I feel like it's because of the type of series that it is.
It's not happy.
It's not happy, and it's just kind of like
it's just
one of my issues. Yeah, it's a lot like what my issue with Konosuba is, as far as there's no storyline to the series, at least in the beginning of this one.
Okay.
It just kind of goes.
I will agree with you. The only counterpoint is once Konosuba season 2 starts, there is a clear through line. It's just, please stop dragging your feet. Please just take out the generals and then kill the Demon King. Why is this taking you so long?
Yes, but
there is no through line for this show. It's just she's going here. Oh, I guess she's just technically gathering stories to tell her mom and Fran when she comes back. But
in all actuality, she's just following along the same story in which she read in her book. She's just going to the same places. For them, at least what you take away in the anime. In the manga, it's not quite like that. She travels to other countries in between the stories that she reads, but
I think for the anime they cut all that out because it quote unquote not important.
Yeah.
But for the manga, where the mangaka can handpicked whatever he wanted to draw. Yeah, he can do whatever he wants.
Hmm.
So I do think that they contribute to why it didn't pop off as hard.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
a counterpoint, because how Japan's culture works. She's got maybe 7 or 8 scale figures, 4 or 5 prize figures, and a Nindroid.
And
That's not gonna make you much money.
no, it's not.
I can say that because I have one of her prize figures on my shelf before, and I'm thinking about getting a scale figure.
I mean, she's a very interesting character. She
Oh,
looks
she's a
pretty
great character.
She looks very cool. As far as uniqueness is concerned, I mean, I guess I don't
She's
want to
unique.
say
Go ahead.
I don't want to say she's not unique, but you can very easily get her mixed up with some other characters.
When this show was originally airing, I got her and the witch from I've Been Killing Slime for 3,000 years mixed up because I'm like, yo, look the same.
Yes, it's similar. So
I
think
would
that's
say
also part of it.
she's unique in her own show, but like she's an archetype. She's small, petite witch girl with big hat, which
And-
became an archetype, and I'm like, fuck, I like
Yeah.
this archetype. Damn it.
I don't blame you. You see it all the time for a reason, and that's
Works,
something we
yeah.
also have to remember. Yeah, like you said, it works. It's very memorable, but it's one of those things where it's like, don't put yourself in a lineup with 20 other people because you might get them confused.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed this series. I want to say that for a fact.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the fact that it was dark because it's a lot of the popular shows tend to be less dark, and for many reasons, but I kind of like the darkness. You know, you had the witch with no people episode.
Yeah, that wasn't like that's not where I fully like realized, oh, this isn't going to be happy. It was literally when we got to the flower lady.
Okay, yep.
I'm like, okay, are you gonna address this? Are you gonna like burn the field down? Like, what's going on? She's like, nope, not my problem. I'm like, oh, okay, this is good because not every episode needs to be happy, which is good. Not everything has a happy ending. This is good. And then it kept going. And I'm like, can I get one? I just need one. I'll take an okay ending. Not a good one, just okay.
You had to wait till the end of the season, but you got it.
Okay, yeah, you know what, you're right. Yeah.
The body swap episodes.
Well, when she first meets Saya, it's not dark, it's just kind of sad.
It's very sad because, you know, Saya's using Elaina to basically fill the void of her sister that isn't there, which we come to find out isn't there because her teacher told her, you got to get away from her because this is unhealthy. And you're like, yeah, that
codependence.
You're right. Good on you, teacher. That's good on you. A lot of life lessons in this series.
Ooh, can we talk about things we don't like?
Yes. We're very upfront and honest. We tend to not bash on shows, but we are realistic as well.
I only have like 2 or 3 real complaints.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one is I'll start off with the smallest one.
Okay.
I don't mind that Saya is super hella flamboyant, not flamboyant. She's super gay. Don't care about that. I don't need her to be the comic relief character that is gay. That's a bad trope. Didn't like that.
Okay. Yep. That one, I get that.
She's also really stupid because she bought Elaina a matching dolphin necklace, and I'm like, didn't Elaina give you her spare identical hat? So you already have a matching hat?
Yeah. So my issue with it is it was the reason she started working. I thought that was the issue. I don't mind Saya giving Elaina a gift because, you know, you're the individual who helped me push through my...
Fair. I'll give you that. It could have been anything else. You didn't have to be matching necklaces. You literally have the hat. I'm looking at both of the hats. The animators just went copy, paste, slide.
Absolutely.
I'm just like, I hate you. I hate you so much. It's not gay bashing. I'm just like, why are you a dumb character?
Yeah, I feel like if they would have made her just all right, I'm obsessed with her because she was my teacher. You know what? The gay part isn't the issue. It's the fact that they basically degraded Saya to help alleviate some of the darkness within the series, and it wasn't needed. Okay, what other complaints you got? Let's hear them.
They do not explain how magic works. Magic just works. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, especially...
They just do stuff, and I'm like, well, how does it work? We learn how magic works later in Jobless because they literally sit Rudy down and explain, hey, your spells aren't real. It's just the mana taking the shape of the thing. And I'm like, oh my god, that makes so much sense. Thank you for explaining this. Now everything is in perspective.
It also took like 40 episodes for them to explain that. But yes.
Okay, you're right. It took way too long, but they did it. And
Yes.
Ancient Magus Bride, they explain magic of the thing. We just ask the neighbors, because I'm not gonna call them fairies. We just ask them to use some of their power, and we channel it and make it bend to how we want it to bend. I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
Here they're just like, yeah, we just do stuff, and I'm like, what? How do you just do stuff?
We control nature. Well, how do you control nature? Oh, it just happens, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, because when she summoned in the fight where the girl with no servants killed her dad, which is the big monster.
Yep.
She summoned a bunch of swords, and I'm like, how the fuck did you do that?
Yep.
How did you You know what? Okay, I will take the Gilgamesh reference and just be happy about it.
Yeah, then it's like the brooms. You're just like, you just wave your wand and the broom appears. And you're like, yeah, but that.
Like what?
Okay. Got it. So yeah, no, I get it. It's magic is they almost didn't want to go through the effort of thinking about how magic worked. They just wanted to be like, magic exists in this world, and here you go.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm hoping the light novel will explain once I get there, but I'm not gonna be there for a few more months. But if they do, I'll let you know.
Cool. I can't wait for Colossal Con, and you can tell me how magic works.
They explain it.
I guess a big thing that we can talk about is who is the main character of the book, the book in which Elaina is reading through childhood and or following her path.
Do we want to just say it, or
give me who you thought it initially was, and then yeah, we'll just say it. It's fine. We're like 30-ish minutes into it. We can just talk about it at this point.
I'm dumb. I put no type of thought into it until they went here. I'm like, oh, that's her mom. Oh, it's her mom. I wish I had thought about this a little more deeply.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm like, well, it happened.
I thought of this kind of like Grimm's fairy tales, where I was just like, it's just a bunch of stories that somebody put together, and it's not, and they just made it a one individual that did it. That's what I took of it as. And no, it's mom. It's absolutely mom.
Never mind. I found something else to complain about.
Did you want it to be somebody else?
Yes, I did.
Anybody specific, or
no? Literally, just anyone that's not her mom. But it kind of has to be her mom. So I will accept that begrudgingly.
Because it is mom, I am very curious about why mom no longer does magic.
That's part of my complaint.
I'd be very curious if mom did some sort of binding vow to make it so the daughter was like super magical. And
I think it's just good genes, just copy and just move down the chain. Cause
okay.
So we understand that her mom, super powerful mage witch lady.
Yep.
Cool. Understandable. She's got a lot of accomplishments. She has a fuck ton of money, which I don't know how she made all that money. Why?
Wandering witch.
Why in the ungodly fuck did she settle down with her dad? Her dad just kind of useless. He's just there. He offered nothing. I'm like, how did you land her? How did this happen? It's a little upsetting.
I want to know how it happened, because I completely agree where it's like, why? Why did this happen? You were essentially the top mage in the world, and you're like, you know what? I picked that guy.
Like, he's probably not a bumbling idiot, but all we see him do is eat and cry. He eats and cries when Fran talks to Elena's mom, and at the end, not the end, but in the beginning when his daughter goes on a journey, he's like, all right, I'm gonna cry now, and I'm like, what? You picked him?
Yep.
That bothers me. That bothers my soul.
No, I get it. I'm very curious why. Why is going to be a big question. I really hope we find out.
I don't think we will. It's not, the show's not focused about that. Even Elena's like, yeah, I don't care about romance right now. And I'm like, oh, so later, I'll talk to you later then.
Do you think she's ever going to put 2 and 2 together, Elaina? Because right now she's like, I don't care who the story's about. I want to do my own story. And I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't mean you can't focus on who the main character of your favorite book is.
I feel like she already knows and she just doesn't care. I feel like because this is like a free run situation where she's gonna come back, explain, hey mom, we need to talk. Why didn't you tell me you were Nikkei? That's how the series ends.
Okay.
I can see that being the ending. Her unmarried, probably happy. Hey mom, why didn't you do the thing? And I'm like, why didn't you come back sooner if you knew it was her? Your mom even said you have to come back at some point, which she does not. At
I
least
mean,
as far as the anime goes, she's not.
yeah, who knows? Maybe in 3 years from now, you're like, you didn't tell me when. You just said come back. Well, here I am. I'm back.
Fair. I want to see Elena's self realization that, oh yeah, my mom wrote these.
Yeah, I think so. I think she's purposely putting a blind eye on who the main character is because she doesn't want to admit it, because then she's going to have a bunch of self-doubt about, am I going on this journey because I wanted to, or am I doing this because my mom basically brainwashed is a bad way to say it, but
I mean, you could say groomed.
Yeah, basically forced me to want this to be my life by reading me this story all the time.
I don't think she forced it though. I think she just genuinely enjoyed it.
I think so, but she could have easily been like, hey, this story's about me. I enjoyed traveling, but I also like being here. And it could have easily been like, I also like being here. You're right. Like that could have been the story.
I'm only gonna disagree with you because of something I wrote down. I love how she is more as confident as she is in herself. I am not confident in myself. That girl's got confidence for days. And I love that. She's kind of arrogant with it, but she knows there are certain things she can't do yet. And she admits to that, and it's okay. Well, other characters are like, no, I'm gonna do it. She knows that if she does a thing and it's gonna fuck her up, no, don't do that.
Yeah, and I love the fact that, throughout the series, they're like, hey, do you want to help? And she's like, do I get anything out of this? Well, no, we just need help. Yeah, hard pass. I will not do said things. So I like that. I think that's a very important aspect to her personality.
Sorry, I was reading my notes.
No, you're good.
Her going into the city, the country where you can't lie, writing I am beautiful, and it not going, yeah, it's a lie. I'm like, bruh, how you gonna confirm your own vanity? That's not fair.
Because also, she believes.
Okay, it doesn't matter what she believes. Well, okay, well, maybe it does.
Exactly.
But no. No, it's not fair.
Yes, because that is very, very, very much a perspective thing. If you don't find yourself attractive, no matter how many times you tell yourself that you are attractive, you are not going to think of yourself as attractive. So the fact that she can write down, I am beautiful, and it not change.
Wild. I have it written down. The fact she was confident enough in herself to write down she is beautiful and it not change is wild.
I like how that was the thing that was going to test herself. Like, really? Why is that the phrase you wrote down to test and see if it works?
Because in the beginning of and ending of every episode, it's something that praises her. And I'm like, hey man, chill out, calm down, chill out. Which is why in the grape stomping episode, I'm like, okay, this show does have fan service. It's got that one episode where they're stomping the grapes. Is this a little too much fan service of a type of fan service I don't like? And I'm like, you know what? I gotta accept that. Because I don't like feet. And that there's a lot of feet in an episode. I'm like,
yeah, there is.
We not.
They didn't give people the other type of fan service, so they had to give them that.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I don't think I could put in official media, in other forms of media, anything goes to a degree. I don't think I could put Elaina in a fan servicey type situation because it wouldn't feel right because of her character. But seeing her get mad over, she's not flat chested; they're just small, and them going, "All right, boob envy," and I'm like, "Why would you do this to this poor child? Leave her alone." But it worked. It was a good plot device. It made sense. Canonically, it makes sense, but I just sat there and went, you have enough. I don't say that about many characters.
Yeah. I feel
also go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I feel like it's fine because the fact that, they didn't make her have big boobs. So obviously I'm not a woman, so I cannot say that this is a perspective that all women have, but I feel like it is at least a trope where when you have not a large chest, you wish you had a large chest. So it's just one of those things where every once in a while you're like, man, what would it be like if I had a large chest? And now everybody's fawning over the other person because she does have a large chest. So I feel like that's what that's about more than just a little bit of self-doubt. And that's fine.
No, I get you. I feel like for the story, it works for both of our points.
Yep.
Your point a little bit more. It was just funny to see it. She's normally level-headed and calm. Oh, you said it was the fact she had a small chest and looked like a kid. And I'm like,
well, yeah, because they put her in a bunch of baggy clothes and was like, hey, here you go.
they could have tightened.
Could have made her clothes more appropriate for her body size.
Fair. Also, fun stupid fact I learned yesterday browsing Macari. The grape stomping outfit. They make a figure of that. I'm like, you know what? Fair, understandable.
Well, that's like the only fan service you get, minus the one bath scene, and I wouldn't even really call that fan service.
I was gonna say I don't even know what you're talking about. The only other fan service I remember is her sister about to, the sister's about to kiss, and I'm like, man, this is doing a lot for a lot of people. It's trying to get me, but it can't because
it's just weird. It's weird. Yeah, no, it was weird. I was like, no, let's pass on this one, please.
No, she's just a tsundere, just a tsundere.
Yes.
Slight attachment issues.
Yes, as we've previously stated, teacher said dependency issues go away.
You need to be your person.
I guess here's one question. Did you have a favorite character?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
It's Fran.
Oh man. Okay. Yes. Explain why you picked Fran.
You've seen Cowboy Bebop, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
I love a woman that can kick my ass. Also, she's pretty. Kind of dumb. A little dumb. Not gonna lie. She's a little dumb, which is fine. But strong, cute, sort of nurturing in her own way. Because I've got mommy issues. I'll just admit that. I don't really give a fuck. Yeah, I'm just like, you would be a good person.
Yes. She's very much a good person. She is. Yes. She cares about her students, so you can tell that she is a good person. So.
I'm just remember when in the flashback episode when they go to the country that doesn't like mages. I don't know the country's actually the country of truth or some shit. All right, take your knives out sexily. I'm like, you both suck at this. I just sat there. I'm like, all right, that was funny. I didn't laugh out loud, but that was definitely.
I laugh out loud, but that's okay. I enjoy laughing, so I laugh at stupid things.
Who's your favorite character?
I do very much agree with you for Fran, but to give some other character some lights. Yes.
There's not a lot of characters in this show, which is good but bad.
There is a lot of characters in this episode, but you get like 5 minutes of a lot of people. So it's a very hard decision because unless you want to go with Saya without being Chalk, which is obviously Elaina.
Yeah.
Which I kind of want to go her. I really enjoyed her.
She is a great character.
She is a fantastic character. She's very well-rounded as a character as well. And so I don't like being Chalk. I don't like picking the main character because it's so easy to just be like, yep, I love the main character. It's like, do you or do you just like seeing the main character?
In modern anime, I'm disagree. In older anime, I'll agree with you with that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can give you that one.
Cause like I cannot stand Deku as a main character.
Yeah, he's very annoying.
He's still a good character. Just like God, I can't stand that child. I can say that as someone who has finished the manga, thank God it's finally over.
I think we have 2 more chapters, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Actually, we do have 2 more chapters. There was 4.
I was gonna say I know I'm considering it done.
Yeah,
they're epilogue stuff. I'm like, I don't care. He did the thing. Good job, Deku. You kind of did the thing.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Shira, the witch who is the teacher, the blonde-haired teacher. I really liked her.
Yeah, she was great. The smoking wasn't for me, but I'm like, fair kid. That's fine.
Yeah, I just took it
She's a good foil for Fran.
Yes. Very, very good counterpart to Fran. Obviously, I've talked about her phrase a few times where she separates the 2 sisters because of dependency issues.
Yeah.
And so I thought that made her a very good character because she's forthcoming and aware enough to know that, hey, you 2 are never going to grow if you always stay by each other. So fucking get your shit together. And I also liked the motorcycle as a broom.
Yeah,
broom as a motorcycle. I thought
that was a very cool concept. In the episode they introduce her, I think that is the first time in all of my anime viewing experience a character gets their hair cut and has no character development because Elena's the same character. Nothing changes. She's just like, give me my hair back.
Well, she's whiny, but yes.
I mean, I wouldn't count that as she's still her.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. It is very I can't think of a better way. It's kind of funny that, she basically got Saya hair and then was like, yeah, no, I'm not having this. I need my regular hair back.
Yeah. I don't know if because they don't explain how magic works. I don't know if their magic is stored in their hair.
Well,
Like
obviously
other
not because she
witchcraft.
exploded.
Well, I mean, she's still fair. I don't have a good scaling thing for how strong she is.
Strong. That's all I can put it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
you're right. All we know is she's strong.
because could she take out the witch who doesn't have any subjects? Could she summon the Gilgamesh weapons? But she can do time reversal to fix things. And I'm like, I don't think everyone's out here just doing that.
But she didn't actually use time reversal. It was the
Ooh.
other one.
Are you
who
sure?
ended up
Because the wiki says time reversal to fix the roof and the glass vase.
Oh, yes.
Vase. I'm like,
yeah, time reversal. I'm thinking of time travel versus that's slightly different.
oh god, that episode. Oh, we haven't touched on that. If you want to, you can. That one hurt. That one, not gonna lie, that hurt.
That was that was rough. Like to go Estelle, by the way, is the name of the witch.
Right, yeah, I forgot.
Also known as the Lavender Witch because they go by their hair color apparently, and all of the
sometimes, unless you're Elena's mom was like, I thought it was cool, and I'm like, you know what, you can have that.
That is why we think she is the strongest one, by the way, because she's the only one that's different. So if you're different, it's typically because you can say fuck it to every other rule. Just throwing that out there.
Fair.
So Estelle basically used all of her magic and used her blood in order to go 10 years into the past, for anybody that doesn't remember, just to find out that her best friend was a fucking psychopath. From
the jump. Literally,
yes.
She did not think so. For 10 years, she's like, that's my best friend. I got her. Oh, I had her till I had to kill her.
Yep.
Goes back in time. Is like, we're friends. I'm gonna save you. Oh no, I've been crazy literally since day one.
It's like, okay. Oh no, you were just my plaything for a while, so we were never friends, and you're just like, oh fuck.
That wasn't damn. That did hurt, but hearing why she decided to go down that path, I'm like, oh, I've seen this before in a very particular doujin, and yeah, no, it hurts more here. Yeah. Ooh, the author was like, I want to hurt you slowly.
Yeah.
Give you a little hope every once in a while, and then go, nah, you can't have that. I'm like, bruh. Is this where Jujutsu Kaisen's author learned how to be mean to people? Because they don't die.
Man. Oh.
Because like there's not like glimmers of hope, but like there's like okay moments, and then a few happy moments, and then some mundane moments, and here's your pain again. And I'm like, stop. Please stop.
So this is a good question. Which one are you talking about? Jujutsu? Or are you talking?
Well, we know Jujutsu's getting ready to wrap up. He said by the end of the year, and I'm like,
we're getting close.
Hey, with that, not gonna talk about that.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that later. Yeah,
but for this, I'm like, why do these things hurt more than they should? Yeah. I can't really explain.
I think that's one thing that I really do like about this series is it is very thought-provoking. It's very deep. The problem is that it just goes from one to the next to the like. There's no
time to think and linger. No, I got one. I get you.
So I feel like it's not a binge-worthy show. I guess that's might be the best way to put it. I feel like this might have been better if I watched it 1 week at a time.
Ooh. Okay, you know what? I'll agree with you because I watched the first 3 episodes one night and then 5 and then finished it on the third day, and I'm like, I'm in pain.
Yeah, you got to process those emotions a little bit, I guess. It's very deep, and some of these concepts hurt. We can put it that way. Just like the best friend thing, where you're like, actually, no, fuck you, I hate you, and you're like, oh, ouch, okay.
I wish Elaina had taken the bag of money. I get why she didn't. She just wanted to get the fuck out. I understand.
Yep.
You did your job. Get paid. Take your money and leave.
I feel like that's not
what the show's about. I get that, but
no,
you're poor. Take your money.
It's very. I don't want to say it's off character from Elaina, but it kind of is.
Yeah.
Not saying that she can't be empathetic, but she's very much like, I do these things because I want to travel and it benefits me. So how did it benefit me? I got paid. Like, give me my money, let me go. So there's one of the one of the chapters where Elaina pays a bunch of gold and she actually tricks the individual into the paying with the fake gold she had gotten earlier in the series. Because the individual that she paid basically did not, we'll put it this way, he did not deserve to get paid by real money. Well, that's the easiest way to put it. So like that is in her character to be like, wow, that really hurt, but thank you for my money.
Yeah.
Because she needs to survive. Like, let's be honest. She's doing this to survive.
I feel like she's too far away from home to go back home and like do odd jobs. Well, she can do odd jobs wherever she wants. It's not the problem. Yep. I don't know.
Yep.
I just okay. I have a controversial hot take.
Okay.
Everything past episode 2 for the negative things. Yes, they are bad and they hurt.
Yes.
It's episode 1 or 2 when Fran confronts her and she just has her breakdown, that hurt me more than everything else.
Okay.
Because her mom understands, hey, you're getting a little too arrogant. You think you're the hottest shit. You're not. And she's like, whoa, I can't rein her in because she'll figure out who I am. Fran, you do it. And I'm like, don't make your student hurt that girl. And like seeing her realize, oh no, I'm not the hottest shit. I had my feelings hurt. Like, well, yeah, but at least she didn't like kill you. Like, I think it would have been less painful if she had just killed her.
I took that a little bit differently.
Understandable. I will 100% not disagree that take I had is very strange and peculiar.
Okay.
But I feel like it does kind of, as far as it being the most painful thing, it's not. It's very clearly not.
Yeah.
But it's hard to see. It's hard to see the mom have to do that. Well, she didn't do it herself, but cause her daughter to go through that. Like, damn, that kind of hurt. But she did need it because she does need to grow as a person. So I get that.
Yeah.
Beat your child up yourself. Don't make your student do it. You're the parent. You do it.
So what I think is different is the fact that she broke down for the fact that this was the first non-parent that she entrusted herself with. And it was all a mirage, a fake, whatever you want to call it. So it actually hurt her because she was like, you know what? You're the first person that I actually gave a part of myself to, and you basically threw it in the trash and were like, yeah, no, fuck you. And so that's kind of how I took it. And then to me, I feel like it had to be somebody else that was not her mom, because I don't think it would have impacted her as much.
I'll agree with you.
Okay.
But I still would have preferred if it was her mom to give her that final lesson of, hey, you cannot go out into this world thinking you are the hottest shit.
Well, that is one of the rules. Remember that.
Yeah, but I feel like demonstrating it would have been far more powerful. Jesus Christ, Umbra. I feel like demonstrating it would have been far more effective than just telling her.
Okay.
I'm not a parent, so I can't speak on that. You are a parent, so you've got the credentials to speak on that.
So my children are young. We're going to put it that way. But I will say sometimes my children learn better experiencing it themselves. And a lot of children are going to be that way. Again, I'm not going to generalize. My children specifically, I can tell them, hey, if you fall down off said object, it will hurt. Okay, proceeds to fall off said object. Hey, that hurt. You're right. I told you it was going to hurt. Yeah, it hurt. Yep, those were the words that I told you. I could have told them 100 times. Falling off the top of a slide, it's going to hurt. Until they do it, it's completely different. It just does not compute where it's just mom or dad said A, B, and C. C doesn't count until I go from A to C. And I realized that, yeah, that was a dumb option. So I've had many of experiences where I was like, hey, yeah, you shouldn't do that. Well, I'm going to do it anyways and figure it out for myself. And you're like, you know what?
Yeah, no, fuck around and find out.
Oh, cool. I did what I could. I told you not to an extent. Unless you're going to severely injure yourself, I'm going to let you figure it out, because unless you're falling downstairs, I'm okay. So fair. Yeah, kids are stubborn. You know, they think.
Yeah, they are.
So I get it. It that is probably the parent in me where it's like, I can tell you, hey, you're not shit. You are very good. You are indeed a prodigy. You're probably going to be the best witch in history. But right now, you are not that thing. And all they would hear is, I'm the best witch in history. And so it's very,
you're right.
yeah. Again, that's the parent in me that sees that mindset that somebody else has to teach her what she doesn't know, because sometimes mom and dad are not good enough.
All right, I'll take that.
And I like Fran,
Yeah.
so I'm perfectly fine with her coming into the series in the beginning. I also feel like it makes it more impactful when she finally goes and see what Fran is as an adult witch. Because if she would have been like, hey, I'm your mom's student and I've known you since you were a child and you're a great person, it wouldn't have been as impactful when she left.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, you're right. Because the reunion between her and Saya, she's like, oh. Oh, the reunion between her and Fran, she's like genuinely excited. I'm like, okay, you know what? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I only have 2 other notes.
Okay.
Saya fighting all those guards during the speech with the witch who lost her voice. I'm like, this is great comedy. This is Saya being funny and not
Yes.
overly bearing. Short lived, at least it happened.
Yes.
And then in the grape stomping episode, the fact she got drunk off of 1 glass of wine, I was like, bro, how? Why?
She's petite. She never had alcohol before.
There's no. She's had to have some alcohol. No, I feel like she's had. Okay, maybe not.
I'm pretty sure she says she's never had. She said she's never had wine before. So
I feel like she's had other alcohols, just not wine. I don't know how strong wine is because I don't drink wine.
Not strong. It's stronger than a beer, but not an IPA. If that makes sense. I think it's.
I hate that. I do know. I understand all that. That's upsetting because I don't drink a whole lot.
I think it's in the low 10s, like 10 to 13%. Don't quote me because I'm not a huge wine connoisseur, but I want to say it's in the low 10s. Again, kind of like IPAs where you can get some stronger stuff as well. But the average stuff that that my wife drinks, I'm pretty sure is on the lower end.
Got you. Okay. That does kind of give it a lot of perspective because I don't think they're drinking IPAs in the Fantasyland. I lied. I had one last thing in my notes before the actual ending. Her name's not Nika. What is her mom's actual name?
Her mom, according to Wandering Witch fandom, is Victoria, and also known as Nike.
Yeah, Goddess of Victoria.
In the books.
I hate that a lot. So her training, Fran and Sheila gave her the training she needs to raise Elaina.
Absolutely.
So like, oh, you raise your daughter like how you raised your students. Okay, I get it. I get it. I really enjoyed that she didn't. Her daughter isn't her student, but she kind of is her student, just for not magic.
It's one of those. It worked for these individuals. Why won't it work for my child? Like you know it worked. Keep doing it.
Yeah, I think she could confirm that it works because Sheila and Fran are on the opposite ends of the spectrum. So I'm like, okay, yeah, no, this could work for vast majority of people. All right, you ready to talk about that ending? Because
yes. Okay, I am going to give a quick spoiler alert for anybody that does not want to know who that individual is, because she is important. We're definitely going to throw that out there. She is very important. So, Kamerin, you want to give us the honors and tell us who that is?
No, because I forgot who that is.
Okay.
I know she's time travel. I'm like, who are you from time travel? I don't remember.
Okay, so that individual is it's Elaina. It is.
Why
Elaina.
is she a knight?
So
why did she change class?
I know this due to reading on within the manga, and I guess, do we want to talk about spoilers? That is going to be okay. I've already give a spoiler warning, so this is for anybody listening. This is your last chance to not get spoiled for season 2 that we may never get. But that individual came from a town. So that individual, we can call her Amnesia. And she came from a town called Estro. And basically she came from Estro. And anybody who goes into this town, there's one of two ways you can get into the town. You either get escorted by a citizen, or essentially you become a citizen. But in order to become a citizen, you get your memory wiped every day. So nobody knows what happens within this town.
The town they're in, or the town?
Estro. So this is the town where Amnesia goes to, and now has amnesia because she has become a citizen of said town.
See, not okay. I guess this does pick in. This picks up with my final note. Fuck the ending for being a setup for season 2, which we never got. But goddamn, that was a great. Hey, go get the books.
Yes.
I feel like during the pandemic, it was very much, hey, this is just going to be an advertisement for the book, because Wandering Witch Elaina is published by Kanekawa, who is a book company. And you're like, okay, so y'all paid for your anime to advertise your book. Well, it worked on me, so fuck, it might be rather effective.
So a little bit more about Amnesia. That is the individual who Elaina runs into at the end, or in chapter 12 of the manga. So if you want to kind of get a manga version,
No, read the light novel.
you can, go with the light novel. I've already said
light
this.
novel.
Go with the light novel. I have not read up to the point to figure out why she became a knight versus a witch, but she is Elaina. And basically the diary or book that she finds is Elena's diary that helps her get her memories back at the beginning of every day.
Ooh, I got problem.
Okay.
So more spoilers based off the wiki page, which where is she? She's no. Oh God, the anime ends on volume 3 for the light novel. That's crazy.
Okay.
So wait, whatever timeline she's a part of, she has a younger sister. Which what?
Elaina does?
And whatever timeline Amnesia is from, yeah. And I'm like,
Oh,
what?
Interesting. I wonder if it's a significantly Oh.
I got hella quick. I'm about to open up all these books.
Wait, what? Apparently you find out about her in volume 4.
Pretty sure that's where the anime ends.
I think it ends in volume 3.
That does kind of fall in line with how light novels get adaptations. Thank you, No Game No Life.
Unless you're like World's Finest Assassin. I don't know if you've watched that one.
I watched your guys' episode and how you talk about that, which is wild.
Right? 1 volume, and you're like, no, there's no way. Nope, it sure is. I'm like, oh, okay.
I guess I'll save this for the very end, because it's not. It's more about the studio than well, okay, for there. So the studio that animates Wandering Witch Elaina also does Shangri-La Frontier, which
very
crazy.
nice.
I feel bad because I haven't seen it yet, but after watching your guys' episode, listening to your guys' episode, I'm gonna watch it. They did Otaku Elf, which I kind of sort of dropped because I got kind of bored, not gonna lie. Reincarnated as a sword, which is
yeah.
And their other most notable is Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy.
Oh, yes. That's a good
Crunchyroll's like, hey, watch this. Hey, I'm like, Crunchyroll, I'm not watching this. It looks like an isekai. So
it is an isekai. I have actually talked about this on a previous episode, but I will give you the beginning of the series because it's actually very funny. It's an isekai, but it is the parents traveled to the other world. They had kids, and basically in order to be able to travel to a different world, they were like, you're going to give us one of your children. And then the goddess goes to collect one of the children and was like, you are so ugly, you're not going to get any powers from me, and I'm essentially going to disown you, and throws him into the other world.
That's fucked up.
It's funny. It's super funny. And basically he goes through this series in spite of that goddess.
Dojin brain kicked in. He's probably just going to take his revenge like a normal person and just fight her.
Yes. Maybe. Or do well in the world.
Yeah. Yep. What you said, because my thought is going to hard stop.
When he gets pulled into this other world, he actually gets pulled by a different god. And this guy was like, basically he's a sub god, and he's like, hey, I'm going to do all I can to help you. Here's some isekai-esque stuff. And then you're going to go to the goddess. The goddess was like, basically, you're hideous, you're ugly, get away from me. and kicked him to the world and gave him no blessings. And
Counterpoint.
yes.
If you're the goddess and you know you contractually have to take this kid,
Yeah.
change his face. You're the goddess. You can do almost whatever you want.
Basically it was very 90s-esque where you're like, you're gross. I never want to see you again. And then just kicks him to the curb.
If Aqua can bring back Cosmo from death, she can change one dude's face.
But he's too ugly to want to change his face. So, and that point gets brought back into other parts of the season. I'm literally only on the first season, but it is funny. What's that?
The fact that isn't it on its third season?
The third season just happened. Like it just finished.
Then that's my problem. I've never really paid attention or heard of this show until they were like, watch it. He has a flame bow. And I'm like, what is that? What am I looking at?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I didn't start watching it until I want to say spring, like this previous spring. So a couple months ago.
Understandable.
Okay. It's an easy series to get through.
No, I don't want that right now. I want to feel either happiness, sadness, or just depression.
No, that's fine. That's perfectly understandable. Don't watch this one, but Sumaki is a good series. I 100% judged it by the icon. I was like, what the fuck is this? But it is funny because it's going to be a while until you watch it. Basically, the first person that first creature that he makes a contract with starts stealing his memories so that they can start watching like samurai westerns, essentially. Like I can't think of the proper term of it, but it's basically like a western, but as a samurai. Like it's basically just
that's funny.
And
fucked up, but funny.
Yeah, she just pulls all of his memories because he loved watching Edo period samurai shows, and now this creature spends all of their time watching said shows.
Okay, you have done them a service. I kind of want to watch it now. I just need to get through like 10 shows on my list first. But
I will say it's not my it's a watchable show. It's not the one where it's like you have to watch this show kind of thing. It goes on the list. It's definitely up there on the list. But if you have other things you want to watch, I understand why you want to watch those.
I need to finish Eurocamp season 3.
It's not deep. We'll put it that way.
That's fine. I have to finish Jellyfish.
I need to watch that one.
You do.
I know.
We'll talk about that another time. Now what?
I know there was so the spoiler, we talked about it. We talked about who she is. Was there any other? I think you had one more note, right? Or was that your note?
That was my note. Fuck the ending for going, here's what season 2 is about, then going, read the book.
Yes, read the book. I know we've said that multiple times. Read the book. So much better.
Granted, it's only been off the air for 4 years, and that sounds really bad to say when things get their season 2 announcement at the end of their current season. But
yes,
I'm a No Game No Life fan, so I'm just like 4 years ain't shit. That's nothing.
Hey, I am a Bleach fan, and I waited 10 years for them to finally announce the last arc for it to take periods of time, because they're like, well, now we got to compete with other stuff, so we need to step our game up after we already stepped our game up.
At least you got your 1,000-year Blood War. We're not getting the visual novel game for No Game No Life, and I've made my peace with that. My suggestion was make the visual novel a real visual novel and just sell it for cheap.
Well, you understand what happened, right? With No Game?
A bunch of things happened. Kadokawa, it's not owned by, I think it is owned by Kadokawa. They literally can just be like, you know what? Fuck it, bring it back.
Well, that and the mangaka artist was caught plagiarizing, so kind of a big deal.
Well, okay, here's my problem. If he was caught plagiarizing and then went to the hospital for 6 years, because he was in the hospital, not consistently 6 years, but off and on for 6 years.
Yes.
He went, hey, here's book 12, and we went, you're not dead? He's like, no, I'm working on the final arc. And I'm like, we're getting more? And he's like, yeah, it's just going to take time.
Sounds like Hunter x Hunter.
They could literally bring... Well, okay. Togashi's literally dying. That is different. Togashi's old and he's got bad health.
Yeah.
Give it to his wife and then be done.
She does a fantastic job as well, but I completely understand. This is his legacy work at this point. So
at some point there was a rumor going around he just wants to spend time with his kids, and I'm like, he doesn't have much time left, so fuck it. Why not?
I did see something where he basically wrote 2 ending, or like
And then he explained all 4 of them live on air, and everyone's like, "Well, which one is it going to end with?" And he's like, "I don't know."
Well, if I don't die, it's not this one.
Yeah, I do remember that, and I'm like, he said that with his whole chest. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I loved it. It's brutally honest, and he is very aware of the situation that in.
Yeah.
So I love it. I hope we get a true ending of Hunter x Hunter because the series is fantastic. I hope we get more anime. That's another series that we have to wait forever for if we ever get it. I wonder if they're just waiting for it to end at this point.
Listen. I have my monkey's paw. I've gotten one of them. I'm okay with No Game No Life getting the anime, not the
Yep.
light novel. Light novel needs
Yep.
to finish. If we never get a season 2, I will be okay. But I need Konosuba season 3, which happened. March comes in like a lion season 3, which hasn't happened. And then I will split between Bunny Girl Senpai getting a season 2, which happened. We're gonna get the college arc and it's gonna be fucking over. And oh god, people aren't ready. Or we get a season 2 of Blue Period, which just disappeared. It's finally off hiatus, but they were like, we're probably not going to do a season 2. And I'm like, why?
But why?
Blue Period was so good. Do you see my boy get to college? And they're like, all right, we're done. I'm like, no. I want to see what he does in college.
But
I hate you.
But just kidding. Yeah, no. That is why I started reading the Demon Slayer manga because it was only on Cartoon Network, and it was 2 years after it was only on Cartoon Network. I'm like, oh, I guess we're never getting season 2, so let me figure out what happens here.
That's crazy. And then Mugen Train just exploded, and they went, well, I guess we're making it all. And I'm like, only 206 chapters, so
we're gonna milk it for everything it's worth. Completely understand.
No, you don't. How do I express how like mad I was? So where I work, we have like stacked boxes.
Yep.
I punched the stack of stacked boxes. Like I hurt my hand. My hand's still recovering. They were when they said, "Hey, we're splitting Infinity Castle into 3 movies," and I read the news. I told my cousin, and then our coworker was sitting next to me, and he's like, "Go punch those boxes." I haven't seen you truly mad before. He looked at my cousin way like he's like really mad, right? He's like, "I'm gonna walk away for he hit me on accident." Because the rumor was floating around, but we're like, why would they do that? That's stupid. So Demon Slayer will not be done for another 6 years, and I'm like,
no.
They are gonna milk that shit, and then they're probably gonna make a final season of the Sunrise arc, which I hope they don't, and then they're gonna give us the final Sunrise. They're gonna make the epilogue of Wind Boy and Water Boy killing the rest of the demons, or we're gonna get a spin-off of Rengoku and Water Boy doing whatever they did in that book, and that's gonna be it. I hate that a lot.
So, no, they are 100% going to conclude the series on the 3rd one because
I hate that.
I have no issues with it being a movie just because because of how the manga goes. I actually feel like it would be better as a continuation, basically as a movie.
I have to disagree. They only got 60 chapters left to animate. That's not a lot.
Okay, and Mugen Train was like 40 chapters. It was 30 chapters.
I have no idea how many chapters. I know it was 6 episodes, and I'm like, I'll take 6 episodes every 6 months. That's fine. I don't want to wait 6 years to be done with Demon Slayer. That's asinine.
I think they're going to do it every 6 months. They're going to put one movie out every 6 months.
I disagree. Only because Ufotable still has to make the Genshin Impact anime and the other Fate anime. I think they're working on something else, and I'm like, hey, stop! Don't be Mappa.
But they are Mappa.
No, that Ufotable only works on like 4 shows a year because they were like, hey, let's figure out how 3D animation works. Not as good as Studio Orange, but a close second. I'm like, all right, yeah, you do that.
Yeah, but look at what Patriot did. Parrot? No, Patriot.
What Bleach?
Yeah, they literally made their own studio so that they can make Bleach into a movie.
I mean,
quality.
That's what happened with Ancient Magus Bride too. We had to wait 4 years to get it, and I'm like, worth the wait.
Was it worth it?
Yes. But 4 years to get another season, I'm like, I don't want to wait 6 years to get 3 movies.
I think at most
they're going to be every 2 years because they're going to flesh out. Are we allowed to talk about spoilers?
Only because we're not talking about the series. Let's not talk about it.
They're going to flesh out a certain character's backstory and why he got to do the thing he did. And I'm like, cool. I don't care. I want to see Tanjiro use his powers?
They're going to do it to everybody. They're making it into movies. They're doing it for everybody. It is going to be visually amazing.
Don't care about Inosuke's backstory in the movie quality. I don't care. Yeah, sad. I don't care. God, that fucking flashback. How the earrings work. Oh my God, that's going to take forever. Oh, I need another drink.
You will. You're still going to watch it. Like, don't.
I know I'm still going to watch it. I know I'm part of the problem.
It's not a problem. So
we don't need this. Is not the type of behavior we want. Give me the 60 chapters. You can literally break that shit down in a 2-core series and be done. But they're not.
No, because if they did it in
movies, are going to make more money.
If they did it in 2 cores, it wouldn't be as good.
I disagree.
Because you.
If I have to. We can't argue about this forever.
We really can. I'm going to say my piece, and then you can say your piece. All I'm going to say is that they are going to do the justice that is needed for the battles, and it would degrade some of them by making them into 23 minutes. So in order to not do that, they're going to make it into a movie. They are going to have your major battles as a 30-minute episode or a 35-minute fight, and you're gonna love it.
You know what? Nah, I'm gonna disagree with you, because they're gonna do what they did for Mugen Train.
Okay.
Release the movies. Go, okay, we're done. Ha ha. Just kidding. We're gonna touch up some of these cuts. Here's all 3 movies broken into a season. Like 6 or 7 months later, they're gonna do exactly what they did with Mugen Train. Every other movie they've released, and like I hate that. I think I would much rather just wait for the season where everything is going to be Blu-ray quality at least, and go, okay, it's done, it's over, work on something else, please.
The only reason why I didn't dislike Mugen Train was because they gave you extra. They gave you 4 episodes of extra. So for that simple fact that, they put all the effort into making it into a movie, and then they're like, actually, here's some more stuff that we didn't put into the movie for whatever reason. Here you go. At least they made it worth my time.
I guess.
But no, I do understand.
Attack on Titan fucked it up.
Yes. I am also going at this from a nostalgia perspective, where as a teen, I got reruns of Dragon Ball Z and Yu Yu Hakusho, and every once in a while we get something new. And so I am just enjoying the fact that it is popular enough that I can go see it in a movie.
Fair. Understandable.
So
I just disagree. I don't want it as a movie.
Yeah.
Don't say you. I did the same thing. I was just a few years younger.
Yeah, no. Also the fact that I remember having to go to friends' houses to be able to watch the DBZ movies because I didn't know they existed, and then they were never canon. And I was like, what the how did he go Super Saiyan in this one, but Super Saiyan wasn't a thing until 100 episodes later? And why was he red? Why was he Super Saiyan in red, but then never again?
Script supervisors are a new job title in the industry. Before that, you could do whatever you wanted and it would be fine.
Yes.
Now we need people to keep the canon, which is crazy that is an actual job.
Because it's important. Because people
It is
care.
Important. I that on other people's behalf.
Yes. I do appreciate you joining us, Kamerin.
No problem.
I think this is a good place to end after we spent 15 minutes arguing about Demon Slayer.
It always comes back to Demon Slayer.
I definitely had a lot of fun. I appreciate you picking this one.
No problem.
As I had said,
I was gonna rewatch it, and I'm like, oh, this gives me a good excuse. And now I'm like, why did I decide to rewatch it? Why would I hurt myself like this? I can't pull up my list right now. I can, but if you ever need me to come, you know what? Never mind. Because never mind. That's for later. We're talking about that later.
Yep. I'm glad I watched this. I think this is very much for the people who want something a little bit different. This is absolutely on the list of things that are different. Don't try watching it 2 or 3 times. It's not the same.
I would say you can just put a few years in between it, so you forget.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. Maybe wait a month and watch it up. Maybe take an entire year. Watch the season in a year, and you'll enjoy it a lot more. But I do digress on that one. Again, I appreciate it, Kamerin. I had a lot of fun on this one. What's up?
Likewise. I don't get to argue about stuff like this a whole often.
We can have more arguments about saying the exact same thing, so it's okay. Is there anything you would like to give a shout out to before we sign off?
So because your show is only slightly 18 plus, no. Last time I was here, I was like, yeah, movie podcast. That fell through the cracks, and we're trying to scramble to put it back together. So
Okay.
by the time Colossal North is around, maybe. Right now, I'm just working on my very, very not safe for work podcast, which is something we ain't gonna talk about because it is very much not in anyone's wheelhouse.
Okay. Well, then we will kind of leave that at that one. For anybody that is interested,
What we were gonna do for the movie podcast is tell people where to watch the movie, because I don't think everyone knows this is available on multiple platforms, not just Crunchyroll. You can also watch it on Hulu, which is crazy. And that's kind of it. That's all I got. I need another drink. I'm mad now.
Okay, and please make sure to go check out the anime show. Check out all the awesome anime content they have on there. Now is a great time to check it out because we're going to be getting towards the end of the season, seeing what's coming out next season. And also, please subscribe to us, drop a like, and check out our YouTube channel where we have our short flights talking about the current season of subbed anime as well. That's all I got. Have a good one.
Bye.